Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So guys, in this video we are going to start with the new topic, that is PHP PDO CRUD. Okay, so we will be doing a CRUD application using PDO, that is PHP data object. So guys, now let's get started. So first we are going to insert the data into our MySQL database. Okay, so let's get started. So let's go to our editor. Here you see guys that I have just set up the template with the bootstrap, and here's the output for this at index.php. That's it. So now let me just design one simple card. Yep, card header, where inside this card header add this, and inside this h3 tag I want a tag add student. So we will take an example of student for inserting the record, where button primary, and here the form name will get create as student add.php. Let's copy this, and here we create one form, file, and let's control A, control C, copy and paste fully here, and let's tell insert data into database using PHP PDO. Okay, so same title will be copied and pasted here, and this will be the back button. Let's make it to danger, and here we move as index.php. So guys, now let's design with the card body part, and let's see the output for this. Okay, so yep, let's refresh. Cool, so design is perfect guys. Let's make this button to right side. So move to your index.php and add the design float end. Okay, refresh. Now let's click on this. You can see student add.php. Here is the form. Same class you're going to copy and paste in your add student. Done. And now guys, you need to create the form over here. So let's begin form, where method we are going to accept as post, and let's see the output now for this. Okay, so now let's create the input fields. So guys, I have created a database where you can see that a table named student. Okay, and inside the student, where I have few fields in it, where ID is the auto increment and primary key. Okay, and here is the full name, email, phone, and course. Done. So let's get back to the browse, and now let's implement the input fields. So first, margin bottom 3, and the label I don't require for over here. Let's them full name, and the input field, that is form hyphen control, where this input field name will be full name. That's it. Now let's copy this, paste here. Let me just minimize and zoom it. Okay, the next was email, and another was phone. Let's make this input field phone, and final one course. Okay, so let's give the course. Done. And simple guys, one button we require it. Let's add that button, button button, where save student, and let's design this button with the help of bootstrap class primary, and the button type we are going to keep as submit, and this button name will be as save student button. Okay, as simple. So now guys, let's go to the action code.php and create a file. So when you click on this save student, it goes to code.php with the method of post, and this method post will take all your input field data. So yep, let's create a file code.php. So guys, before working in this, let's check the output once. Refresh. Cool. So these are our input fields. So if you want to make this small card, you can just go here and let's give 8 here and refresh. Perfect. So now guys, let's get back and go to the code.php file. So now guys, first step, let's open PHP and close PHP. Start with the if condition, where inside this isSet function, you are going to check with the post method because you are getting the form using post method. Now you need to copy that button name. Let me just minimize. Okay, let's copy this. The button name, here it comes. And now guys, all your input fields. So one is full name is equal to $_post method of your input field name. Okay, so what input field name is that? Full name, email, phone, and course. Okay, full name. So same way we have to paste for email, phone, and course. Done. So now guys, we have to insert this into our database. So for that guys, you have to write the query. So before writing the query, you need to give your database connection. So let's include the database, include where dbcon.php file. So let's create the file with the name dbcon, that is database connection.php, and inside this open PHP and close PHP. Now let's give the server name is equal to will be localhost $username is equal to that is root, and password is equal to null right now, and the database is database name. What is my database name? Here we find PHP tutorials. So let's paste here. Done. And now guys, let's use try catch, and inside this PDO exception. So let's type PDO exception $E. Okay, E, this is exception. Now let's understand. And whenever it goes the connection, let's tell connection failed. Okay, and get your get message. So this is a default function to show all kind of errors. Okay, done. And here now let's begin with database connection. So conn is equal to connection is equal to PDO function, and inside this you are going to set up with your connection guys. So first your host and then your database name. So that is connecting with mysql host is equal to your $server name. Okay, so this is server name semicolon, and now db name is equal to your database name. All set. So this is our host and database. Now guys, you can give the username and then your $password. All set. So this is how we connect our database. Oops, here we missed that semicolon. And now guys, you need to let's give set attribute function where PDO utter error mode. Okay, attr_err mode, error mode, where PDO you are going to error mode exceptions also you will get. So let's tell PDO : exception, I mean error mode exceptions. That's it. Done guys, and you can just echo here, that is connected successfully. If you want to see, you can just see, or else let's comment and keep right now. Now guys, our database connection is set up. Let's go back to our DB I mean code.php, and let's write the code. So our query is equal to, where we will tell insert into table name, so that is students, your column fields, and then your values. So guys, now for the column fields, let me just copy that. Okay, full name, email, phone, and course, copy and paste here. Done. Let me just minimize, and let's take out the spaces, give comma, and just give the space. And now guys, let's here colon, full name, comma, colon, email, colon, phone, comma, colon, your course. All set. So guys, now let's run this query. Dollar query underscore run is equal to where you will be preparing it. So dollar $con your database connection, where we are going to prepare this above statement or query. So let's copy this and paste here. So what is this con is nothing but your database connection. Okay, so this one. So you are calling this and it's getting connected. So guys, after preparing this query, let's bind our values into this. So for that guys, let's create a variable called data in a array format where you're going to bind that values. So this is the variable full name we are getting from the input field, full name. Okay, and where you're going to put that is over here. So just copy this with the colon. Okay, don't miss out that colon, and paste it. All set. So same way you're going to prepare for your email, phone, and course, and these input fields that you're getting from your input form. Okay, let's copy and paste here. So now guys, we have binded the values, and now let's execute inside this. So let's copy this query run and dollar query run of exe execute function inside this dollar data. So why dollar data? You are passing all this inside this, and now you are going to execute it. I mean, this is your query executed is equal to, if this query is executed, you are going to show the message, else you will tell not inserted. So now guys, let's use a session to show the message. Message is equal to, where we will tell inserted successfully, and let's redirect back to location colon where index.php exit. So you need to copy this once again and paste for the not inserted. Okay, done. And if you're using session, make sure you're starting the session at the top of your page, session start. So once it executes this guys, then you're going to your index.php, and we want to show the message of this, right? So let's copy this and go to index.php. Okay, so this is index.php here. So let's open PHP, close PHP, if colon where we will check is set. If this message is set, something session is set. So how you are going to check? Let's call the session at the top of the page. So let's call the session underscore start. Done. So our session is started, and let's end the PHP. I mean, end the if condition, end if, and we have to show that in a h5 tag, something like in the alert success, and here we are going to echo dollar session of message. Okay, So this will show our output. Yep, let's get back to the code.php. All set, guys. So now let's check and execute. Let's refresh. So now here database is empty right now. Let's insert the data with Prakash with at gmail.com, some phone number, BCA, and let's save student. Inserted successfully. So now let's check the database. Perfect. So guys, our data is inserted into our database. So now let's try to add one more record. Om Prakash, om at gmail.com, where some random digit phone number, BCA, course, save. Here we go, inserted successfully. Let's browse and see. Cool. So guys, our data is saved. So guys, in this video, we have successfully learned how to insert the data into database using PHP PDO. And now guys, in this, we are going to learn how to fetch the data from our SQL database in HTML table. So guys, now let's get started. So first, let's move to our editor and let's go to our index.php file. So in this index.php file, I want to show the output. Okay. So here, why it's not going this? So guys, in previous video, like we have shown this message, right? So you just need to unset that. Let me unset it. After showing the session message, we need to unset that session message. So just unset it. That's it. Not to worry and refresh. Okay, it's gone. So guys, now let's begin with the fetching of data. Card body table.table, where let's give table bordered, table striped, and then table head, guys. After table head, table row, table heading, where ID, then full name, email, phone, and finally one course. That's it. So now T body, and over here table row. So inside this table data will be fetching all our records. So let's see the output over here. Cool. So here is our output of table, and let's fetch the data from our database. So guys, let's begin the query. So first up guys, we need to include our database. Okay. So let's include the database over here. Include function, where inside this dbcon.php file. So here is our database connection, guys. So you just need to create this code and we are including that. Done. So let's get back to our table body and begin with the PHP. So here let's write the query is equal to select all the fields from which table, students table, we have inserted the records. Okay. So guys, now let's prepare the statement. Statement is equal to, with the help of database connection, let's prepare the above query. Prepare function $query. All set. So after preparing your query, let's execute that query, guys. So $statement of execute, and after this let's fetch the data. So whatever we fetch the data, let's keep in that result your executed statement of fetch all function. Okay, now you can just check in a if condition. If at least one record is there, means you are going to check, else you will show no record found. Here we divide the code, open and close PHP, where table row, table data, no record found. All set. And here we add call span is equal to number of headings. So 4 plus 1 5, you can just add that 5, so it will show in a correct format. So now guys, if the result is found, then you are going to loop the result and fetch the data. So let's take this variable called result, and here we fetch as dollar item. Okay, so whatever item we are, item or row, let's take it row itself, so it gives more clear idea. So now guys, let's close PHP and open PHP. That means dividing it. Let's cut this and paste here. All done. And now you can just copy this row of open PHP and close PHP, row of ID. So now if you want to check the output, let's go, and here we go. So 1 and 2 record, which is ID is coming. Let's fetch the full name. So let's copy and paste full name. Here we go with email. So let's check with these 2 records. Refresh. Perfect. So full name, email, the data has come guys. So now I wanted to show you one more thing, like this is the method of associated array data we are getting it. Okay, so let me just show you PDO where fetch associate. Okay, so this will give your associated data, and you can check the output. You are getting the same data. Okay, there is no changes. So now let me just fetch this data in a different format, that I mean in a object. So let's control X and let's keep for the reference, and here we paste this and just make this to fetch underscore obj, that means object wise. Okay, and here you will get the error, something like cannot use an object of type, so you have to view in a different format. So I mean in a object format you have to view. All set. So let me just select this, control X and remove, paste, done. So refresh. Cool, so you are getting your data. So guys, I just wanted to share this. You can fetch in an object or a fetch associated vice also. So let me just get the other 2 fields, phone and course. Now refresh, done guys. So let's get back, and one more thing I wanted to show, that the format of fetching, instead of writing here, you can just give this like statement. Okay, so the statement, whatever you are executed that statement, you are going to set fetch mode. Okay, and inside this you are going to pass your fetch mode data. So let's control X and paste here, and the same format for this also you can call in this. Okay, so now you can just check the output, refresh, here the same. So if you want to fetch in associated format, then you have to change this method. Okay, so let me just show you that to fetch in this associated type, let's select control D. Here we add, paste. So yep, you get the data. So guys, these are the few methods how you can display your data. Okay, so let's display in a fetch, I mean object method itself. So let's type obj, and now here we refresh. Cool. So guys, in this we have learned about how to fetch the record from our database in PHP data object. Okay, so now we are going to edit this data and update the data into a database using PDO. Okay, so guys, let's get started. So let's add one column with the name edit and one simple button. So let's get back, and here is our table guys. So this is our table head, and let's add one edit button, and here we go with the button option. Let's add a tag, and mention as edit. Let's design this button primary, and let's go to student-edit.php file. All set. So with this, I am going to pass one parameter called id is equal to where the id is going to be the row of id. That means fetched id. So let's pass here. All set. So now guys, let's check the output for this. So refresh. Okay, we get the edit button. Now let's click on this. Here you get your student edit.php with the parameter id and its value 1. Okay, so same concept goes with the second option also. Okay, so now guys, let's create the file with the name student edit.php. Copy and yes, student edit.php. So now you have to create a form, right? So let's check out with the add student form. So here all the same data guys. So we are going to use the same student form for edit and update. Okay. So let's go to add.php file, copy this and paste in our student edit.php file. And let's change the title, edit and update data into database using PHP PDO, edit and update data into database using PHP PDO. So now let's click on edit. Cool. So now guys, let's fetch the record from this with the help of this ID. Let's get back. Let me just minimize this. So guys, this is our form. And first step, we have to include the database connection. So let's include the database connection at the top of the page. Here we open PHP and close PHP, include function where dbcon.php file. So here is our database connection. So you can just watch it out. And let's get back to student edit. So guys, now let's write the query over here before the form starts. Okay, open PHP, close PHP. Let's check first with if condition and set with the isSet function $_get method. Okay, so you're going to get what? Your ID. Okay, so let's copy that parameter ID which you have passed from the index page, this index page. Okay, so that ID you're getting, and inside this ID you have the value. As you can see that it has 1. So let's store that in a variable called student_id is equal to, with the help of get method, you're going to tell id. So whatever data is there, it will come inside this. And now guys, let's type the query is equal to where we'll tell select star from the table name students, where id is equal to your binded student id. Okay, let me just keep a shortcut student id. Okay, so you don't get confused with this and this. Done. So now guys, let's prepare this statement. So you can $statement is equal to $database connection with the prepare function where $query. All set. So you are setting the query over here. So after setting it, we have to execute this. So let's execute the query where $data. So inside this data, what data you are going to send? Let me just create it outside. Here we will be passing this. We are going to bind it. So colon student ID. Inside that, what data you are going to send? This student ID variable. Okay, the parameter value. Done. And this you are passing inside this. All set, so there is no confusion. Let me just align it in one line itself. Here we go. And now guys, let's fetch the record. So this is only one record guys. Okay, so we are going to take one, and you can put also like limit one and dollar statement of only fetch data. Okay, fetch function. Then let's get that data in a either object method or your fetch associate array method. Okay, so let's fetch in object wise guys. Fetch underscore obj object. If you want to get in associate also, you can just, I have, let me paste off that ASSOC. So now let's tell dollar result is equal to, and in this result you'll get final data. Let's paste that in the value attribute, PHP open echo and close PHP, and your dollar result object of where full name. So this full name is nothing but your database column field name. Okay, here, done. So let's check the output guys for this first. Let's move, refresh, perfect. So we are getting that ID 1 with Prakash. Now let's check with the ID 2, edit, here we go 2, and here you get the Om Prakash data. Cool. So now guys, you can, I will just show you this, what is this method of associate. And if you put this fetch associated data, you have to change it in a array format, okay, to fetch the record. So there is no difference. Okay, so you need to just change that. And let me just keep in this in a object format. So if you are using associate, then you have to view in a array format. Okay, so yep, let's copy this and paste for rest of the fields. And next column was email, the next column is phone, and the final is course. Save. And now guys, let's check the output once. Perfect. So now guys, let's create one more input field here for the ID. Okay, so name is equal to will be student underscore ID, and inside this value is equal to where open PHP echo and close the result of ID. Okay, so let's check the output. So whatever here it's there, that only we are storing in an input field. Let's make this as hidden. Done. So now you can refresh, that input field is hidden. So now guys, when you submit the data, okay, which means update student. So now let's tell update student button. So when you click this update student, and it goes to code.php with the post method, and it will take all the input field name with the values. So yes guys, let's go to code.php and start with the code. Here, let's ignore that. So guys, now let's begin with if condition, where is set function with the method post update student button, and the input field names we have to get. So which means we are going to get from the edit student ID, full name, email, phone, and course. Okay, so let's come here. Let me just copy from below because we are going to repeat it again. Okay, so all this full name, email, phone, and course are from the input field, and one more field is required, that is student ID. Let's copy the student ID and create a variable called student ID. Let's keep it full itself, student ID. Done guys, and now you need to start with the query. So now guys, let's give a try catch, and inside this catch, let's tell PDO exception $e, and let's echo this $e of get message function set. So now inside this, let's type the query. Query is equal to Here we update the table name. So my table name is students. Let's copy that and paste here. Set your table with the column names. So my column name is full name. I mean this column names. Okay, full name, email, phone, and course. Let's get back. Full name is equal to colon the full name, comma, email is equal to colon email. Let's call the database column field, and here you're going to bind that colon phone course is equal to colon course. Okay, now guys, you need to give a where condition id is equal to colon your student underscore id. All set. So if you want to set a limit, you can give limit also. That means one, limit one. And now let's prepare this statement, guys. So let's tell dollar statement is equal to your database connection, and where we are going to prepare function your dollar query. I mean this above query we are preparing it. After preparing it, we need to execute. So what you're going to, while execute, you need to send your, you have to bind all your variables. Here let's create a variable data and bind all the variables. So this is our binding data from the SQL, and the data you are going to bind inside this is this values. Done. So same concept for all the input fields, your email and your variable email. Okay, then your phone and your input field data phone, and final course, here your variable course. Done, guys. So after this, one more thing we are missing, that is your student ID. Okay, do not forget this student ID, because it will be searching where we have to pass this ID. What is that? Student ID. Let's copy this variable and send it. Done, guys. So now after this, we are going to execute this. So let's take that variable statement, your prepared statement. That statement you are going to execute function. So what you're going to execute, while executing you have to send all your data, right? Your binded data. So let's send that dollar data. So after execution, let's tell this query execute is equal to, okay, so this is our query execution. Let's tell this in a if condition. If query is executed, show success, else shows like not updated. So guys, to show the message, let me just copy the code from below. Let's copy this and paste here. Done. And instead of inserted, let's tell updated successfully, not updated, and it goes back to index.php where we are using session to show the message. Okay, so if you're using session, make sure started. And now guys, going to index.php, let's move index.php where you're showing the message here. Okay, so if you are using session, please start the session at top of your page. So now guys, let's test this code. So yep, refresh. So from Om Prakash, let's make it Om Dude, and let's make it all the phone number to and becom. Let's click on update. Here we go, updated successfully, and you can see that name is changed to Om Dude. And here you find the email, and okay, so the phone number is not changed, guys. So let me just edit and let's update student. Okay, so phone number is not updating. Let's see why. And let's go to the code.php, add update student. Okay, here we come, and data what we have passed in the phone, it's email, guys. Okay, so by mistake I have left off, so let's update that to phone. All set. So now let's try to edit and update once again. So I'm going to keep all the digit as 8. Update. Perfect. So guys, in this we have successfully completed with how to edit and update the data into database using PHP PDO. Okay. So guys, now in this we'll be learning about how to delete the data using PHP PDO. Okay. So guys, now let's get started. So now guys, let's move to our editor and go to our index page at the table. Okay, so this is our table head, and let's add the delete option, delete, and let's create a table, a button, table data button. Here I am going to begin with the form with the method is equal to post, and inside this a simple button that will be delete, and this, let's design this button danger, and its button type is equal to submit, name is equal to delete student. So now guys, we will be fetching the value, I mean ID, student ID inside the value attribute. Open PHP and close PHP, echo the row of ID. Here you give your data. So now guys, you will go to code.php. So once you click on this delete button, you are going to code.php with the post method, while you will carry this value also. Okay. So let me just show you the output of this first, and then we'll begin with coding. Okay. So this is the delete button. So now guys, let's move to code.php with the button name delete student. So go to code.php. Now let's begin with the coding part. Let's check the button is set or not, which means clicked or not. That is using post method delete student. So guys, we are going to get the student ID with the help of post method. So inside what you are having the value inside this delete student. So let me just show you. Let's go to index.php. Here is the value which has the name of delete student. Okay. So you are getting from that button only student ID. So now guys, let's start with the try catch, where you can tell the PDO exception $e, and you can just echo the message if you get any error from that. So yep, and here you are going to add the query guys. So let's type the query is equal to delete from the table name, that is students. So let me just confirm it. Yep, it's a students, where ID is equal to colon your student ID. Okay. So now guys, let's prepare this statement. Dollar statement is equal to your database connection. So from where this is coming? From your database. Okay, here. So we have set this, and we have included that at the top dbcon, and from there guys, we are going to prepare it. Prepare dollar query, your above query which you have written this. Okay. So once prepared, let's execute this. Dollar statement of execute function, and inside this what you're going to execute, I mean you have to bind the student ID. So either you create a separate variable and assign, or else you can just pass that directly inside this as student ID. So this is also one method. If you're getting confused guys, let's keep it out itself, like dollar data is equal to, we are going to keep this and just pass the dollar data, so it will be more clear to you. All set. So now guys, once executed, you need to get the result. I mean, that is your query execution. Query underscore execute is equal to, and if this is success, here you get, else you will tell not deleted. So let's copy and paste the code to show the message. Let's copy this and paste. All done. And instead of update, let's make it deleted successfully, not deleted, and it goes back to index.php file. Okay, so when you click on this, it comes back to index.php. So yep guys, all done guys. Now let's get back to check. I'm going to delete the row number 3. Let's click delete. Here you get deleted successfully and your data is not visible. So let me just add dummy data. So some dummy, and let's save. Here you go. So let me just show you that in the database, here is the record. Now let's click to delete. Delete this, deleted successfully. Let me refresh. Done. Let's check into our database. Here you see that data is deleted. So guys, we have successfully learned how to delete the data from database using PHP PDO. Okay. So guys, thank you for watching this video guys. Please subscribe, like and share.